let me join you in welcoming, a belated welcome, I might add, to our distinguished panelists. And knowing some of you personally and all of you professionally and admired your work, we're deeply appreciative of your efforts to be here and your efforts to stay here. We all apologize for the timing of the vote, but as I know you understand, we really had no control over that. As the chairman correctly noted, Washington, in fact, much of the United States has been, shall we say, abuzz over this nation's Pakistan policy. Certainly the president helped to increase the discussion on this very urgent issue when he introduced his strategy for both Afghanistan and Pakistan just a short time ago. And a fundamental element of the plan is its call for expanding our partnership with the Pakistani military through building counterinsurgency capabilities and promoting closer cooperation across the Afghan-Pak border. Right after the legislation was dropped, the House had a bill introduced before it calling for an increased limitation and conditions on U.S. security assistance to Pakistan to include Title X reimbursement and building partnership and capacity programs. And some have expressed, I think understandably so, concern that this proposal would unnecessarily constrain the Department of Defense amidst what is already a very fluid and dynamic situation, to say the least, in Pakistan. That was capped off during our recently concluded Easter recess when the administration submitted its fiscal year 09 wartime emergency supplemental request, which includes funding to reimburse the Pakistan military for its counterterrorism and counterinsurgency efforts. As I understand, the measure also includes a new authority and funding stream that would build the capacity and capabilities of Pakistani security forces called the, quote, Pakistan Counterinsurgency Capability Fund, or the PCCF. Clearly, there's been a lot of activity, and we appreciate our panelists' efforts here today to help us sort through all of it. And let's just start for a moment and briefly with the President's new strategic direction for Pakistan. It would seem to me there's little debate that Pakistan rests in a critical region and is a central front on the war on terror. They are an essential partner, but it's a complex nation with its own set of challenges, including internal political uncertainty, an economic crisis, a rugged western border area that provides sanctuary to al-Qaeda, Taliban, and other extremist groups who are expanding very dramatically in some instances their reach eastward, and an ongoing tension with India, which was reignited following the Mumbai attacks. In this light, in my opinion, I believe the President's strategic direction understandably focuses on Pakistan. While I agree that Islamabad must be part of the solution in the region, I disagree with some who have implied that solving Pakistan necessarily solves Afghanistan. Becoming a true partner will require elements within Pakistan to make the strategic choices necessary to sever ties with extremist groups who threaten both their own internal security as well as stability in Afghanistan and the region as a whole. And a key to accomplishing this aim will depend on our ability to understand and exploit Pakistan's regional concerns, motivations, and interests. To that end, I believe Pakistan requires a strategy that employs goals and requirements which support a long-term, respectful, strategic partnership instead of one that is merely transactional in nature. This is where Congress must play an important role. As I stated earlier, I'm concerned that efforts to limit and condition existing security assistance and building partnership capacity efforts are counterproductive and, in fact, cut against our overall long-term strategic objectives in Pakistan. Moreover, such initiatives send mixed signals to Islamabad. Let me be clear, these programs demand oversight and scrutiny. Still, I believe that intelligent application of funding conditions should complement, not restrain, our strategic interest. And finally, this leads me to the current security environment in Pakistan. I'm of the opinion that traditional peacetime framework for security assistance, sure I am. I'm of the opinion the traditional peacetime framework for security assistance is inappropriate and no longer works. The scale, nature, and frequency of violence in Pakistan, whether it be the Red Mosque incident, the assassination of Benazir Bhutto, or the conflict raging against al-Qaeda and the Taliban on its western border, makes that nation more appropriately comparable to a combat zone, like Iraq and Afghanistan, than like a Central European country seeking foreign military financing. That's why, in response to a question from Chairman Skelton during a recent hearing, General Petraeus said, the correct analogy for our trained and equipped forces in Pakistan should be what we are currently executing in Iraq. The General further testified, we need an organization similar to our Security Transition Command in Iraq, and I would remind everyone that this is the organization that successfully built the Iraqi security forces. In short, the administration is militarizing foreign assistance to Pakistan very rightfully because the enemy has a vote. The conflict, as the administration's strategy concludes, is in Pakistan too. What our Pakistan partner requires is military capability for counterinsurgency and more. As such, I feel that advocates of using peacetime paradigms to deal with wartime problems simply fail to recognize the profound security challenges Pakistan faces and the scope and tools required to solve those problems. Again, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for holding this hearing. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.